Välkommen till Norge, and welcome indeed to Vestnes, Norway, where Innova presents the PCS Open. It's the first ever Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series event in Europe as the tour comes across the Atlantic to Øverås Diskgolfpark next to the fjords and absolutely spectacular scenery here in Europe. And so excited to bring you this coverage live of the PCS Open. The MPO round is underway and we'll have feature card action beginning in just a moment as we first take a look at Arcana current conditions. Spectacular day here in Øverås, 59 degrees. Light wind started to pick up a little bit this afternoon, and hot scores out there on the course. So looking forward to some great disc golf as we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. We are in Helsinki in the PCS studios. Thank you so much for being with us. I am Charlie Eisenhood. Joining me is Jaani Lansio. Jaani, thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Brian Earhart is scheduled to be here today, but he had significant flight troubles. He actually landed about an hour ago after not sleeping for about 36 hours. So he's going to get some rest, and we'll see him later this weekend. But Jaani, this is going to be awesome. You've had a chance to call a lot of the action over here in Europe on the Euro Tour. How has that been going so far this season? Would you sort of assess the overall Euro Tour scene?
It's been a great season. I mean, seeing the American players come here to Europe. For many years, it's been the case that all European players, they have to go to America to beat the best, to see the best, to get better. But now we've seen Bradley Williams, we've seen Paul Macbeth come here to Europe. We've seen these young European players. I mean, they're under 20. They're getting to play with the best of the best here in Europe. And it's been a great season.
And they've been competing at that level. Paul Macbeth, we see him here, 16th in the Pro Tour standings, number 1 in the Euro Tour standings. He rejoins the Pro Tour for the first time since late April back at Jonesboro because he's been over here playing. He has, in his 6 events, won 3 of them, but he hasn't won them all. I mean, maybe we thought he would win them all, but he has faced some real competition.
Yeah, he's been playing inconsistently. Of course, starting in Croatia seemed like it was an easy cake for him. Like, what was it, 8 strokes lead or something, 8 strokes victory? And then in Konopiste, well, we saw him play the course record one day, and then one day something completely else. Totally inconsistent. But when he gets his groove on and the Mac Beast mode, then he looks like he used to be.
We've certainly seen him knock down some huge putts. The putting has been phenomenal over the last few weeks. Won the Swedish Open as well, big crowd there, and got to celebrate his birthday while he was over here. Skellefteå Open just a week ago, gets the win there. And it was close though. He's been having to battle.
Yeah, and it was really encouraging actually to hear him say that he's starting to feel again the old Macbeth coming out, like the one that's battling for the victory. I think it's been a mental thing mostly. There's nothing wrong with him like shooting
physically.
Yeah, but it's just mental thing. He hasn't felt the fire in him. But now, Swedish Open, certainly battling with Niklas there. Tight battle. He got it. He got it on.
Very, very exciting stuff. You can see some close wins and some big wins and big losses along the way. So let's check in down on the course as we get a look at our current leader, co-leader Jakub Napek. Look at all the birdies out on the course today. He's getting ready to tee off on hole 15. He is tied with Hjalmar Fredriksson at 8 under par. Of course, scoring well today. So our first look here at Napek.
Ooh.
Well, he does get the green flag, but he pushed that pretty far right. Maybe some nerves as the camera comes over to his.
Yeah, I mean, you feel someone coming behind you, and you say, "Okay, as a cameraman, I think I'm playing quite well here."
Take a look here at the overhead. He's out there on the course with some great players. Aaron Gossage and Kyle Klein, Bradley Williams. So overhead view of the first hole. You can see the tee pad there on the right and little right to left wind pushing discs towards the out of bounds along the left-hand side.
His last year's runner-up, Jakob Semmerad.
24-meter par 3. Circle 2 look for Semmerad.
Next from Mesa, Arizona, sponsored by the team Discraft. Please welcome to the team Mr. Anthony Barella.
Barella having his best season as a professional.
Almost a bullseye hit for Anthony Barella there. I think we're going to see 4 times sidearm here on this card.
Team Innova. Please welcome to the team Mr. Juna Heinonen.
As soon as I said it, we're going to see a... What? Is he holding a mid-range? All right. One of the biggest arms I have ever seen there, Joona Heinonen. Little bit shy there. Maybe a circle 2 look.
Scottsdale, Arizona. Sponsored by the team Dynamic Discs. Please welcome to the team Mr. Ricky Wysocki.
Ricky coming off the win at the Preserve, his first win in 2023.
I'm so glad to see him back in action. Indeed.
Oh boy.
Back in action. There he is, Mr. Wysocki.
Off and rolling. Let's jump back over to our co-leader, Napek, on 15, second shot on the par 4. Gets the green flag. So playing for par from here. As we take a look at our U-Disc course close-up at the Øverås Diskgolfpark.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful park, actually. It's almost like a European Hawaii, if you look at the scenery there. Øverås Diskgolfpark. Par 62, 2,671 meters long. Don't let the views lull you into a false sense of security. This course has teeth. Certainly has lots of OB. Here we are at the gates of Valhalla.
A hole to watch, hole number 6. We'll see that triple Mando coming up soon. U-Disc has refreshed how you review courses with new individual categories for maintenance, signage, and of course, scenery. We know we would get a strong score here at the Øverås Diskgolfpark. Open the app today and see how your favorite course stacks up.
Yeah, we've been seeing that Gates of Valhalla a lot this week on Instagram. Almost all the players who are here have taken a little reel there.
That's just good marketing. It's an Instagrammable hole.
Totally. And they always make it with their first shots. I kind of doubt it, but it seems like it's an easy hole.
Heinen for a long-range birdie.
Probably not even going for it. And the wind is certainly picking up here. And that might come into play because it's a very open. I mean, there are woodsy holes, but it's an open place for sure. Right next to the sea.
Rella in for the birdie. Ricky has a drop in. So a nice start for the two Americans on our second feature card. So scores coming in very strong, but the wind picking up. 8 under is the mark in the clubhouse. We'll be back for more round one action at the PCS Open.
When you first sign up for a PDJ membership, you're given a PDJ number. Your PDJ number is a stamp for when you got involved in the sport. It's a badge of pride for players and a part of your disc golf identity. Get your number today. Visit pdj.com/join.
Should have brought some snacks.
I got you.
Ah!
I got you. I got you. I got you.
Oh, Karen, do you know where hole 17 is?
I got you!
Is that a compass? Karen, why do you have this?
Ethan, just help me. We gotta get this set up.
Okay.
It's getting dark.
My name is Garrett Gerthy, and I'm the founder of Double G Craft Jerky.
I love the fact that it's resealable. I can just get a little bit, keep my energy levels up, but not eat like a half of a meal in the middle of my round.
My favorite bag is the smashed cracked pepper. That's my perfect salty snack.
This is my go-to, the Sexton Sweet and Spicy. If this bag gets open, there's no need for the seal, because I'm gonna eat it all.
Boys down here, just finished checking out the you have, and everything is A-okay.
Hey, Jonathan, catch. Huh?
Jonathan, we're getting an anomalous critical failure on your suit. Could you please confirm status?
Sorry, man.
Welcome back to Disc Golf Network's live coverage of the PCS Open. Co-leader Jakub Napek putting for bogey on 15. So he puts it in after going OB on his approach shot.
He's not your co-leader anymore.
Indeed, Fredrickson in the clubhouse at 8 under, all alone at the top.
Ooh, that's not in the water.
Heinenen's birdie putt
Yeah, struggling with the putter now.
misses, and it goes off the cage.
Slowly creeping in the water, but no, goes over over the pond.
So Barella and Wysocki inside the circle looking for birdie. A bit of a tricky angle here for AB.
Nicely done for AB. And a similar looking spot for Ricky. What was that?
Wow,
Was it just a genuine spit out?
it looked like it came straight back. He putted it very hard. Wow.
That was unfair.
Heinenen
Say the
taps in
least.
for par. Semerad, who laid up earlier, taps in for par, and Wysocki will do the same. So what do we see here?
I mean, it's a nose down angle. It kind of, it's just a old school spit out.
Just a straight off the pole.
Yep, a little dance on the rim.
Well, I don't know who Ricky made upset to make that happen, but maybe it was Sigurbjorn.
Yeah.
And we might have to try to find him out on the course during the show. If you can find Sigurbjorn on one of our whole flyovers, you can go to sigurbags.com, let them know where you found him, and get yourself a free Sigur backpack. Be entered to win. So look out for him. Maybe he's here on hole 3. We'll find out. Par 3, one of the easiest holes in the course.
Yeah, one of the easiest holes on the course. And actually, the whole front 9, I think, plays a lot easier than the back 9. So definitely you have to go for the birdie, like on all of these holes, and not be afraid of the bogey and the OBs, which are plenty. Also here, speed control is crucial. You can't go long.
OB all along the backside and down the slope.
Anthony
We've seen
Barella
thumber
going
here.
A thumber. All right. Leaves a bit short. Very creative.
Ricky. Gonna go to the high, stalling backhand.
Is not looking good at all.
Unusual shot selection.
Yeah, is the wind playing games here?
Semerad looks like he's lining up the more traditional shot here. The hyzer gentle along the right-hand gap.
This is what you want to do here. That's a bit short too. Let's see what Heinenen can do. This is the trademark Heinenen shot. A spike hyzer, the highest you'll ever see. Looks good. Oh, yeah, that's great. That's great.
The cut roll back towards the
Yeah.
basket. Beautiful shot from Heinenen. Take one more look on the Zuka replay. Towering hyzer.
Yeah. He's the master of the spike hyzer. And that's skip backwards.
Brilliant. So tap in birdie coming for Heinenen. Fredriksson all alone up there at 8 under. Feature card tees off next.
The Trilogy Challenge is back, y'all.
My favorite putter, which is the Retro Orbit Pure.
Mine will be a Tournament Ice Orbit warship.
And the driver for the Trilogy Challenge is my signature series, Fusion Ice Orbit Vandal. Are you ready to hit the course with these 3 discs for the Trilogy Challenge?
I hope you are. If you need more information, then go check out trilogychallenge.com.
Trilogy Challenge 2023. Be there.
Unbelievable.
You missed that. You're going out of bounds easily.
Going for the eagle in these conditions.
He parked that.
And there it is. Look at the big beast.
A moment ago, your spicy shot of the day, Anthony Barella from 20 meters for birdie on 2.
After a weird thumber, leaving 60 feet short, but no problems, birdie in the bag.
Another look from the drone. That's a beautiful putt from Barella. And that is your spicy shot of the day. The Halal guys strive to delight each customer with unparalleled hospitality and mouth-watering food at great prices. Nice birdie from Juna Heinonen as well.
I mean, look at the scenery. I mean, even if you're playing poorly, you have to enjoy disc golf in these landscapes here.
Please welcome to the team Mr. Greg Barsby.
Defending champion Greg Barsby steps up. He won it in a playoff last year. Circle 2.
from Huntington Beach, California, sponsored by the team Discraft. Please welcome to the team Mr. Paul Macbeth.
Nice shot from Macbeth.
From Boulder, Colorado, and sponsored by the team Discmania, please welcome to the team Eagle McMahon.
Eagle McMahon has had so much success in Europe over the last few seasons, defending European Open champion.
Going OB with the first shot of the day.
Way OB.
From Safety Harbor, Florida, sponsored by the team Innova, please welcome to the team Mr. Calvin Heimberg.
Calvin, current world #1, sitting atop the DGPT standings.
One. What a star pack feature card we have here.
The best of today and the best of the last 10 years. And we're going to send it down now to the third member of our broadcast crew. Nate Perkins is with Greg Barsby. Nate?
Greg, it's your 9th time traveling over the pond to play disc golf, but your first Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series event here. How do the nerves change stepping up on the tee pad, hole 1, 300 people watching right now?
Feels a lot like last year because it was the first Pro Tour they'd ever had, so the hype's definitely real. They do a good job of building up the suspense. It's amazing. I'm glad the rain's holding off.
Yeah, how are you feeling about that tee shot right there? A little conservative on the forehand.
Yeah, big time. Like, I've flipped it over too many times here, so I just wanted to get it in bounds and maybe warm up this long putt early.
And Greg,
well,
what is
warming
it like
up the
coming
long
over
putt
here now? The stage seems a little bigger than last year with all the Americans. Like last year, there were only a few. Now it seems like we have half the entire Pro Tour coming over here.
Definitely heightens the mood. I know everybody here is happy to see the pro players. And, I mean, we're out here. You know, it's not a short drive from the airport, and it's a flight from Oslo. So pretty amazing to see everyone here. I'm excited.
All right, Greg, thanks for joining us. Best of luck.
Well, thank you, Nate, and of course, Greg.
Yeah.
Last year, he had that long putt going, and it's part of the reason he won this tournament.
For sure. He's the 2-time champion, 1-time world champion, and always the people's champion. I feel like Greg is always the people's champion. A little timid.
A little more of a wind bounce with done it.
Easy tap in for par coming up. So a bit of a nervy second shot, or I guess third shot from Eagle after going out of bounds. He's got a little bit of work left. First, Macbeth for his birdie.
No problems for Macbeth. Nice to start your round with the birdie.
Yeah, you can go for it.
He's been a top 10 putter on tour so far this season. Bird knocks down the birdie as well. He finished 5th here at PCS last year. Eagle actually won this tournament back a few years ago when it was still a C tier. He's going to take the early bogey. Larsby in for the par. We go to the 4th. Anthony Barella on the tee. 3 straight birdies to start his tournament.
Bit of an early release there for Anthony.
Jakub Napek on 16. Coming off the bogey on 15. And that's pushing left, and that ends up out of bounds.
Sad to see the nerves come into play there for the young Czech.
Ricky from downtown. He puts it in for birdie on 4. Now to Macbeth on the tee of 2.
This is tracking the basket. Almost gets it.
So Macbeth looking at a second straight birdie putt from circle 1.
Maybe a lucky kick there.
Barella trying to get another birdie, but he misses everything. We'll have a long comebacker for his par. Greg Barsby a bit short on his tee shot on 2.
It's a bit short, a bit too much to the left, but no, gets a nice kick to about 6 meters to the basket.
Una Heinonen on 4.
Gets it.
And
Third in
knocks
a row.
down a birdie. And we get a little sneak preview of what happens on hole 5. This is Barella for his par.
And misses.
So Barella going to give back one of those birdies. Crowd filling in here. Barsby from deep again.
Leaves a bit short again.
So all square for Barsby, but a bit of a slow start. Heinonen on the 5th.
And that's the bullseye.
So Heimberg for birdie, back on 2. Good start.
Yeah, solid as usual.
Eagle back to even par as he gets the birdie as well. All of these early holes are gettable.
Oh yeah, yeah. You expect to make these, I mean, first 5 or 6 holes, but of course you cannot get them all. Oh, that's an unfortunate miss for Paul Macbeth after an ace run.
And Barsby in for the par. Back to 5. Ricky Wysocki for par from the drop zone.
Behind the moat there.
He went into the OB there in that rock area, but another big putt from distance. He's now hit from 49 and 38 feet on back-to-back holes. Paul Ulibarri creeping up towards the top of the leaderboard, and he's 7 under through 11. Lots of good scores out on the course right now. Let's go to 6.
The signature hole. Going a bit low, it seems, but gets a huge skip. Yep, that's there.
Uphill putt for birdie. Calvin takes the box on 3.
Very high hyzer shot. Does it have enough speed? Yes, it does.
Pinpoint accuracy from Calvin. This has been the best line we've seen so far. A couple of park jobs with the spike hyzer.
For sure. Unless you're Anthony Barella and go with the thumber. This is short and left. I wonder if the injuries are still in play with Eagle.
Macbeth was frustrated with his jacket on that missed putt.
Yeah, yeah, it looked like that.
And so he's now taking it off.
And it paid off. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Pro tip, play without the jacket. That's a tip Greg Barsby hasn't heard of. This is looking good. No, gets the tree.
Well, he's certainly warming up the circle 2 putts.
Yeah, for sure.
How you doing?
Just off on hole 2. Maybe he'll knock it down here on hole 3.
Yeah, third time's a charm.
Another look at the shot from Macbeth. Call that a medium hyzer.
Was tracking the basket. I mean, it's half a meter short from getting the ace.
2 holes in a row, nearly putting it in. Let's go to 6. Wysocki going to go to the forehand. Steep downhill shot.
This one needs to stop, and it does.
Taking a look at the overhead view from our Flight Factory drone. Eagle just has to pitch up. To 6. Jakub Semerad putting for birdie.
That's a nice one. After 2 unfortunate bogeys there on hole 4 and 5.
Even pars are going to feel like you're losing ground the way the course is playing right now.
Heinen isn't finding the putt at all. It doesn't look convincing now.
Ricky almost has another spit out, but that one sticks. And that's his 3rd birdie of the round.
Yep, finds it. After 2 warm-up putts.
First birdie of the day for Greg. Calvin taps in and an easy one. That's a quick and straightforward 3 straight birdies for Heimberg to start his tournament. Macbeth in for birdie. Eagle will have to settle for the par. Some good shooting here early. To 7. Wysocki on the tee. This is the first par 4 on the course.
This one's looking perfect, unless, yeah. I mean, there are lots of OBs on this hole. You have to go straight to the left, and then you can go over the woods, or you can go a little bit longer and play for the par, but I'm sure these guys are playing for the birdie over the woods.
So to 4, tunnel shot.
And on this hole, there is the OB on the right side, so these players are definitely taking the left side route and then trying to skip it, or taking a kick out of the woods.
What a kick for Calvin. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, good players always have great luck. Taking his 4th birdie in a row. This is tracking the basket yet again.
As smooth as silk from Macbeth.
And gets a lucky break there from those big rocks.
Bit left and short for Barsby. But he'll have a putt.
Piercing the gap there from the left side. And that's circle 1.
So let's take another look at this Calvin Heimberg shot on the Zuka replay. Nate, how did this get through?
Oh, I'm standing here at the green, and it was so early, out of the hand. Looked like it was going to catch a middle tree, kick OB, misses everything, and gets the magical kick, and the eagle has landed just outside the bullseye. Calvin will have a perfect start. And sometimes the harder you throw, the luckier you get, guys.
Advice for us all.
That's true.
Back over to 7. Wysocki throwing his second shot on the par 4.
Yeah, throwing over the trees.
That puts him just outside the circle. Semerad, second shot.
Nicely done. Looking for his second birdie of the round. And circle 2 yet again for Mr. Barsby. Ah, no, this is not a putt. Ah, but he was going for it. Anyway.
Just missing chains.
Seeing a little bit of frustration there from last year's champion.
Macbeth to get to 3 under.
Gets it.
Well, we might have a race on our hands to the finish, especially if the wind stays down. 3 for 4 for Macbeth. Eagle finding his balance for his birdie putt. You bet.
These kinds of courses are tough mentally when you have to birdie all the time, and if you don't get the birdies, it might get your nerves. Let alone taking bogeys from easier holes like this.
I saw him thinking about that one for a while. Heimberg knocks down the birdie. 4 for 4 for the world number 1.
And he had 4 different bags. And they were like yellow, white, blue, and red. Like all the different bags were that color.
to 7. Ricky for birdie. He is draining the putts today. He's 3 for 3 from circle 2.
Well, that's Ricky Wysocki for you.
Let's take a look at hole number 5. And keep your eyes open for Sigurbjorn.
Hole number 5, 11th difficulty. Just plays a little bit over par. 99 meters. You have to go straight. Keep it low, but not too low, because there is the stone wall. And if you hit the stone wall, you're most likely ending up OB. You have to get over the wall, and of course, if you go long, OB waits for you. If you have to go long, well, you have to putt back towards the OB. So on paper, quite an easy hole. In practice, not that easy. 11th difficulty.
Beautiful overhead shots here in Norway. Thank you for joining us on the Disc Golf Network. It's late afternoon here in Norway. Can Calvert keep it going?
Yet again, an early release, but no luck this time.
So Calvin's birdie streak likely to come to an end. Macbeth.
This one's looking perfect. Well, can't get any closer than that.
And I want to send it down to Nate Perkins. Nate, Paul has talked about having some struggles with his timing on his drives. He's looked really good so far this round. What did he do to get ready for PCS as he amped up the competition level?
Yeah, so last week in Skellefteå, he was dialed during round 1, and then rounds 2 and 3, he was early and then late. So he took his offhand off of the disc, and the last time that we saw him do this was at the World Championship last year. So all week during practice, he kept that left hand off the disc, and he said that it takes a little bit of speed off, but it helps him with his footwork and his timing, and he looks dialed today. Athena under the bucket here on 5.
Great stuff, Nate. And Greg Barsby bouncing back with a nice drive. Let's go to 8. Ricky's putter is hot. All right, we go to 13. Paul Ulibarri is playing great, and he's still got plenty of round left. He's currently sitting 2 shots back of your leader, James Proctor.
Whoa, we almost spoke too soon. Taking the birdie almost. Not quite on par for Colin Heimberg there after 4 birdies in a row.
Back over to Wysocki throwing his second shot.
Did that go OB or not?
I think he did end up out of bounds. And there's a look at your leader, James Proctor's scorecard. 6 birdies in the last 7 holes to get the hot score in the clubhouse.
Yep, circle one putting 100%. That's how you do it here. You have to take all the birdies that are offered. There are plenty.
Jaani, do you think we're going to see double digits today?
I'm pretty confident that yes, we are going to see double digits.
Here's Eagle, and that's a birdie. Back-to-back birds for the bird. He's back to 2 under par. Calvin puts his first par of the day on the board. And a couple of drop-ins for Macbeth and Greg Barsby.
Now he really needed that one.
All right, Yuli, second shot on 13. Oh, that looks like it's rolling in the wrong direction. And he does go out of bounds. So his bogey-free streak in jeopardy as he's now putting for par from circle 2. Here it is, Gates of Valhalla. Tell us about it.
Signature hole on this course. You have to keep it low. Keep it low and trust that the disc will skip the last few meters. Maybe take a mid-range. Don't take a driver because the drivers will skip in all the other directions than towards the basket.
So mostly we've seen players throwing putters straight into the ground.
Stop.
Macbeth.
Stop. Good job. Thank you.
Nicely done. Circle 1.
Basically just let go of the disc and let it glide. You don't really have to throw it.
Eagle making it look easy. Greg Barsby hoping to hoist that axe again.
Ooh, this one's going long or in. Wow, that was close.
That was an ace run for sure.
This is probably the grandest tee pad you have ever seen and will see.
So everybody through the triple Mando. Easy hole for these players.
Yeah.
Birdie putts coming up for everybody as we go to hole 8. Wysocki for par. And he knocks it down. So the strong putting continues for Wysocki, who's hit 5 in a row from outside of 15 feet. How about some of the names up at the top of this leaderboard?
Mm-hmm. We got Hjalmar Fredriksson, 15-year-old phenomenon. And right behind him, Paul Ulibarri, not 15.
He's like 18, right?
Yeah.
Joey Tamale putting together one of the best rounds he's ever shot to par on a Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series. He's at 7 down.
No problem for Calvin Heimberg.
Wow.
He's playing great.
Locked in right now.
Greg Barsby after an ace run. Okay, it wasn't low this time.
Very close, but slow start for Greg Barsby continues. Macbeth in for the birdie. And that gets him to 5 under par. Eagle puts the birdie in. Look at these starts we have right now.
You good? Go.
Luke Sampson started out 5 under through 6 as well, along with Macbeth and Heimberg. Those have been the best marks out on the course on the first third of the course. Una Heinonen, excellent approach on the 8th. He has a short putt left for birdie. So it looks like the players here taking a look at where Ulibarri's disc ended up, trying to decide whether he's in or out of bounds. Looks like he's going to step it off. Unclear what the ruling was. That was very close. You can see that left edge of the disc right by the string.
From here it looked like it went OB, but of course they had the better angle.
It is now being listed as a birdie putt here from Circle 2.
All
so
right. They call it in.
According to UDisc, it is being called in. Chips it up, and he'll have a tap-in par. So Macbeth, 4 straight birdies. He is rocking and rolling right now.
Yeah, that's a good one. You want to get to the left side of the fairway. There are plenty of OBs here, but on the left side, the gap before the basket opens a little bit wider than if you end up on the right side of the fairway. Oh, that's a rip.
Excellent shot from Eagle. To 9, Wysocki. It's short, but he has been hitting some of those long-range putts. He's got another distance challenge in front of him.
This one's tracking a bit too much to the right. And that'll be a hard birdie look for Calvin Heimberg if he wants to get the gap. and it's just behind the tree. That's a bad spot.
Back over to 9. Can Ricky keep it going from circle 2? He's 3 for 3.
Nice run. Nice run. I mean, he's definitely confident now.
Perfect height. Just missed it right. What a property here.
It's so beautiful.
Course was put in the ground in the middle of the 2010s. And the owner he saw YouTube to find out what disc golf was. He'd never played, and so he kind of put in a few holes because he had some property. Sievert to Øverås, and eventually was like, hey, I want to try to have a tournament here. And so they've developed it, and now it's a top 25 course in the world.
I like the attitude.
And it's, gone from C tier to B tier to A tier to silver to now Elite Series. Eagle Spike Heiser.
Okay, that's a tombstone there. You don't have to go through the gap if you have the arm to do things like Eagle does.
So Barsby now behind this tree. There is a forehand angle here, but can he get it around that corner?
Yeah, and over the pond. So there is the OB pond right after the gap on the left side.
He's going up and over as well.
All right. Another one.
What a shot.
We have a graveyard there.
For a second there, I wasn't going to get over.
Well, the area where this course was once ruled by the Viking monarch King Bolung, and there are in fact Viking graves just off of hole 14, short walk away. Maybe they're building a new graveyard here, but Macbeth, he's doing his own thing. Nice shot. Wysocki on 10.
Circus Edge.
And it is worth noting, this is one of the shortest courses on tour this season. This is the shortest length since the Open at Austin. And in terms of just the individual holes, it's some of the shortest holes that we have on tour. So a lot of players are going to be in the mix, even if they don't have the big arms that often dominate in the U.S.
Yeah, it's a technical course, and of course, putting is crucial here. Because all of these players, they can throw 400 feet. That's like, you don't need to throw farther than 400 here. Just have to get the putts.
Very cool green here across the small pond. And everybody in position for birdie.
Yep, he's on fire now, Calvin Heimberg. 6th birdie.
And he's now up into a tie for 5th, even though he's only played 7 holes. Eagle in for the birdie. Macbeth also red hot
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
What makes the Halal Guys so deliciously different? You might have heard of our famously long cart lines in NYC fans happily stand in. Today, with over 100 plus restaurants across the globe, we are your place to experience authentic American halal. Enjoy our delicious falafel, Euro sandwich, platters, and sides topped with our famously flavorful white and hot sauces. Order online today and taste how we make different so delicious. The Halal Guys, bringing something deliciously different to the table.
Well, any concerns about Paul Macbeth coming out strong here back with the elite American players has been put to bed as he is 6 under through 7. And he's lacing gaps. And we head over to see Paul Ulibarri, team captain for the President's Cup, playing in his 200th Elite Series or Major. That is the most all-time. So a nice milestone for Uli.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. Good to see him back in action, battling for the win.
Playing great.
Yeah.
Uli 2 shots back of James Proctor, the solo leader right now. But Calvin Heimberg and Macbeth are chasing that score quickly. Pushed a little bit too far right, but he's in decent position there. Wysocki. Putting for birdie. Just too many long looks for Ricky right now.
Really whipping it out there, but turned over a little bit too quickly for Greg Barsby.
Here's Uli on 15.
Gets the green flag. There are plenty of gaps there, but are there any good ones for Mr. Barsby? Okay. I mean, that long look for birdie. Avoids the OB. No harm done there. There are plenty of holes where You can really go for the big sidearm shot. But I wonder if Eagle can actually throw that good old sidearm of his anymore. I mean, we saw that on hole number 1. That didn't look good at all.
Yeah, overcooked it quite a bit on hole 1. Wild shot from Macbeth.
Somewhere there in the woods.
Might be circle 2. I mean, it's gonna have a putt.
Yeah, for sure.
So many more players traveling over to Europe this year. Last year, the PCS Sula Open had 9 players rated 1020 or better. 27 players this year in the field.
Yeah, it seems like players are getting better and better, and also we've seen a lot more American players this year. This is a grenade from Eagle McMahon. Where do you need sidearm if you can throw a grenade?
Let's send it down to Nate Perkins. Nate, we've seen a lot of creative shot making so far today, and a couple grenades in a row there from Eagle. Anything about this course that you feel like is setting up for a lot of different kinds of approaches?
Oh yeah, that's one of the things that I've heard a lot of the players who traveled here talk about, is that that's the one limiting factor of Øverås, is that the trees just aren't able to grow tall enough to take some of those lines away because there's 6 months of darkness and 6 months of cold. These pine trees that we're playing through right now are kind of limited at like 10 to maybe 15 meters max, and a lot of players are breaking apart these holes going over the top.
You can see that players are certainly attacking this aerial space. You know, another look at this grenade from Eagle. It's a nice way to take the challenges out of play. Barsby from deep. No.
Now let's see if Paul has anything left there. I think he's in circle 2, but not even sure if he can see the basket from there. Nah, no chance.
Well, it looks like he sees a window of some kind. This would be something else.
There was a chance. Nice run from Mr. Paul Macbeth. From an impossible lie.
He will take his second par of the day through 8. And Calvin now has an opportunity to seize the advantage over Paul with a birdie here. Trying to go 7 for 8.
The approach shot wasn't that great. So he left himself a little bit of a longer putt than he wanted to. And just, let's say, a millimeter to the left. Now eagle for birdie after that great grenade shot. Gets it.
2 grenades, 2 birdies for eagle. That's 5 straight birds for McMahon, and he's now at 6 under. Pardon me, that puts him at 5 under. Barsby for a par, not a gimme.
Ah, the putter is very cold for Mr. Barsby. Something's wrong.
Second circle 1 miss, and he has not made it from circle 2 yet this round. So Calvin in for the par.
Ooh. For a while I thought that was spitting out, but no problems for Paul Macbeth.
.211, Barella. Makes the island safely. Circles edge putt for AB. Wysocki is still bogey free, but hasn't really been getting the number of birdies necessary. I don't think that got back in off of the hazard. It tapped that post and stayed off the island, so he's going to take a penalty stroke. Yuli's second on 15.
Ah, gets the tree. And that will be out of bounds. And he'll be looking at his first bogey of the round.
Ricky from the hazard. Knocks down the par save. Good putt from Rick. Barella for birdie. Got it. So he is now at 5 under and inside the top 10.
Eagle gets a nice kick off the trees towards the basket.
Eagle rocking the mustache.
Yeah, probably.
It's a nice look, honestly.
Oh, yeah. He's not a kid anymore.
No.
This is buttery smooth. But can it fade early? No.
Gonna have a circle 2 look, but could have been a much better if it missed that last tree. Calvin with an opportunity again. Good line. A little bit short, circle's edge for Vinny.
Yet again, a bit of a late release, but no problems. For a while, it looked like it's gonna hit the left side trees. It's a nice result there for Greg Barsby. He needs this one. I mean, if not for the score, for the mentality.
Back over to Ulibarri after going out of bounds. Just trying to get up and down for bogey from here.
Probably gets it, yeah. Gets the green flag. What an unfortunate bogey for Ulibarri. Was playing so solidly.
It is going to drop him down into a big tie for fourth, with Macbeth and Heimberg, Matt Bell, Garrett Gerthy. And congratulations are in order for Double G.
Definitely. Nicely done.
Yes, Garrett Gerthy and Jessica Weiss got engaged this week. Great post over on Instagram about the whole thing, and Jessica was wearing her engagement ring for her round this morning on the feature card. And there you go. How awesome. They've been dating for a long time, and they just look so happy. It's great.
Yeah. What a nice ring. So
of
beautiful.
course, I said yes to the man I've been waiting forever to ask. And yes, it is quite the bling for Jessica.
Show moving.
Not an easy spot for Greg Barsby, and yet again has to do something else. Not his regular putting stance at all. Patent pending putt. A very disappointing result.
Yeah, he's been looking dejected for quite a while now. Tough sledding for the defending champ. Macbeth from the trees again. Well, good effort, but he's got to be frustrated missing the opportunity for some of these birdies.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of courses, they are nerve-wracking. You have to take the birdies all the time. Whenever you miss a birdie opportunity, you feel like you're taking a double bogey. There it is. Looks so easy when he does it.
Absolute money from Calvin Heimberg from 38 feet, and he gets to 7 under on the front 9. Fantastic start. That's the best number of anybody so far through 9 holes. Macbeth has to settle for the par, so he's a shot back of Heimberg. Eagle in for the birdie, and he's starting to get hot. Take a look at your scorecard. James Proctor up at the top at 9 under. He shot the hot round at Skellefteå in round 3, and he's hot right now as well. We'll see if Calvin, Paul, or others can catch him. We'll be back.
Introducing the F9, Prodigy's most understable fairway driver. The F9 is designed for beginners and lower arm speeds to get maximum distance, full flex flights, and effortless hyzer flows. The F9, available now at prodigydisc.com.
Are you sick and tired of browsing through countless online stores for your disc golf equipment only to come up empty-handed? Look no farther. At Tintin Discs, we have a vast selection with pictures of each disc so you can find the exact one you need. We offer a wide variety of top-quality brands at affordable prices, including discs, bags, accessories, and much more.
Eagle on the tee of hole 10.
Kick ever? Oh my. That's a Calvin kick.
That is a Calvin kick.
You're welcome.
I'm guessing that he got a lucky break.
We'll see if Calvin can also get a Calvin kick.
Take a nice skip. Yep. This is surprisingly difficult. I mean, 5th in difficulty.
It's the new hole on the course.
Yeah.
Completely new this year.
I mean, it's easy to par, but a little bit harder to birdie, and Paul is taking a very creative route.
I think the early branches took way too much speed off that shot, and he's going to be in scramble mode. A lot of players in the press conference called this hole a little bit green still, unbroken in. Let's kind of see, there's not a ton of a clear fairway here. And let's take a look here at hole number 10. And I want to throw it down to Nate Perkins. Nate, tell us about this hole and how it's been playing so far today and in the practice rounds.
Well, I'm actually standing here with the course designer Sievert right now, and we're checking out the lines. And you know, Paul took that high route, and he almost had to like bend the front knee to even get low enough to make that happen. Sievert, what were you hoping that they did on this hole here?
Well, I was hoping that they needed to take a choice to play it safe for par or go for a more risky shot for birdie. I also have to say that it's a completely new hole, so it was not fully tested yet. So it was quite exciting to see how they would play it.
And there you guys have it, straight from the tournament director and course designer himself. 10 is playing pretty tough so far on this opening round.
Fantastic stuff. And you know, sometimes when you put a new hole in, you're not really going to know how it plays until pros get there and actually play it.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes course designers just go there and throw.
Well, Macbeth is way off here in the hinterlands. he's going to go high again. Oh, beautiful shot from Macbeth.
Totally.
Excellent distance judge there. And he'll have a tap-in par.
Calvin went for the easier route, keeping it low, trusting the skip. But if you do that, you'll have to trust also your putting. Paul was going for the birdie and taking the risk.
We check back in with Anthony Barella on hole 12. And look at this line. Wow. Up and over for Barella. And this is your patented shot of the day presented by Sunstein LLP. Not a lot of players would even think to try this.
No, no, definitely. You just have to have the arm of Anthony Barella to even look at that line. I mean, there is no line. Wow.
And that patented shot of the day presented by Sunstein LLP. Check them out for all your copyright and patent needs. It's a fun little lighthouse. Calvin for yet another birdie.
Wow.
He is unstoppable right now. 9 down. Calvin Heimberg. Pizza oven.
Sure, I mean, of course, putting is a crucial part of the game, like wherever you play, but on these kind of courses where you have to just take the birdie every time you throw a disc. You have to putt like these guys here.
Eagle cashing it in for the birdie. That gets him to 7 under. And quick correction, Calvin actually at 8 under. The graphic was ahead of the putt there. So he's 1 shot back of Proctor. 8 under through 10. Barsby taps in the par. And Calvin has just been electric. I mean, he has been in the green with a look at birdie on 9 of the 10 holes so far. And he started to create a little separation from some of the other players in the card. But how about Eagle fighting back?
Yeah, it's fun to see Eagle fighting for the win here.
Eagles birdied 7 in a row.
Yeah.
8 of the last 9 after the opening bogey.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit worried when I saw the first hole. The drive was really bad for him. And then the approach shot even felt like, okay, there's something's going on with him. But sure, the second hole showed that, okay, he's back in form. And now, after the 4th, he's been shredding the course.
7 straight circle 1 in regulation holes for McMahon, and he's made all the putts. Okay, so we saw the huge towering tee shot. Now Barella's second on 12.
Going big again. And that's inside the island.
Only 6 birdies on the day on hole 12. Barella trying to become number 7.
All 3.
Well, the rain has mostly held off so far today. Umbrellas have stayed in the bag. Wind is down. This is just about as good of scoring conditions as we could expect.
Yeah, for sure. think the players would prefer a couple of degrees warmer, though. I mean, you wouldn't have to take the jacket off and on. It's the Norwegian summer. Doesn't get too hot.
Bit of a delay here for our feature card, so let's check in with Ricky. He went out of bounds.
This is not looking good either. Rick is struggling now. I mean, he's putting great. No doubt about it, but he just needs to find the fairways.
He's looking at a double bogey from circle 1. Back to 11. Eagles had 7 straight birdies. What a shot.
Wow.
There's something about Europe for Eagle McMahon. He is dialed in.
I'm sure in previous years he would have gone sidearm on this hole. With all the injuries, has to go backhand. But that was a great shot from Eagle. Look at this from Calvin Heimberg. That's circle 2.
You feel pretty confident he's going to make it.
Yeah.
He's so dialed in right now. He's 3 for 4 from circle 2 so far in the round.
Yeah. Paul McBeth is inbounds, doesn't find the hazard. Still a bit outside the circle there.
Parsby just trying to find a little rhythm.
That's way downtown.
Well, we've talked about how well Eagle's been playing in Europe. Let's jump back to last year's European Open. Paul McBeth was playing out of his mind, but Eagle was just that little bit better. What an unbelievable battle. Eagle coming off of a long hiatus.
Yeah.
And
didn't throw a single sidearm shot.
And this is one of the best battles we've seen in a long time. 1070 plus rated golf from both guys, and they beat the rest of the field by double digits.
Yeah.
Eagle coming in on 18.
Looking forward to next week when we get to play European Open again.
That would shut the door, and wow. If we get something like that again, wouldn't that be something? You can tune in to the major next week live right here on the Disc Golf Network. All subscribers get all of the European Open content, the live coverage, the President's Cup, Tournament Central, bonus feature hole broadcasts, all of the post-production coverage, and GK Pro skins as well. So if you're watching free on YouTube today, now's the time. Get yourself a subscription and be ready to watch all of the action on the European Open. No YouTube free coverage next week, so now's the time to get your DGN subscription. Event packs also available for those who just want to watch the tournament and not get a monthly subscription. Back with Barsby, trying to hit one from long range.
And it's low again. That's been a theme for him this round.
Just not a lot of confidence in that putter right now. Here's Barella looking for that birdie on 12.
Yeah, one of the rare birdies on this difficult hole, number 12.
3 straight now for Barella. He's at 6 under. Tied for 6th place. Heimberg looking for a share of the lead.
Okay, something happened there.
Yeah, that was strange.
Yeah. It's like he stopped putting all of a sudden. Like.
Macbeth to get to 7 under. See, there's not much wind.
No.
Just players maybe thinking a little bit about the hazard behind, or
I don't know. This is 8th birdie in a row for Eagle McMahon, if he can get this.
Yep. McMahon ties Calvin at 8 under par. He's up into a tie for 2nd place, 1 shot back of Proctor. On fire. So, a battle brewing here early. The Vikings might like what they see. Calvin Heimberg and Eagle at 8 under. Macbeth 2 shots back. They're all chasing James Proctor. More to come.
It's such a little change to the basket, but it makes such a significant difference.
Sometimes it's not, in a situation where you can get that extra reverb off the pole. I mean, I'm constantly having to putt like in a hotel room or indoors or out back late at night is my favorite time to actually putt.
I can putt this in the backyard at 11 o'clock at night and no one's gonna be mad at me.
Play smart. That means getting reliable results from reliable discs.
Keep it simple. Founded in 1995 as Innova's original molding partner, Millennium Golf Discs are designed for control and not overcomplicating your game.
Throw Millennium. Premium discs that help you compete at your best.
Play smart, keep it simple, throw Millennium.
Pulsade Disc Golf Academy is the world's biggest online platform for learning the curves and angles of the world's fastest growing sport. Register today and get access to clear and well-structured lessons and exercises from the very best ever to throw the disc. New content uploaded every week. Start learning today.
Eagle McMahon has birdied 8 in a row, and he's going big on hole 12 following the Anthony Barella line. And I don't think it ended up in quite as good a spot.
There are not many players in the world who can do that.
Barella coming off the 7th birdie of the day on hole 12 here on the tee of 13. 728-foot par 4. So Barella, that one finding the out of bounds on the left side.
Calvin taking the traditional route, going straight and then trying to skip a little bit to the left. That's not a bad spot at all.
Macbeth, after getting 5 birdies in a row through hole 7, has had 4 straight pars.
Again, going to the knee. That's not typical of Paul. Even like you don't have to throw that low on this hole. Maybe the timing issue is still there.
When he dropped down last time, he threw it too high, clipped branches. This time, kicks right into the woods.
That's a lucky break for Mr. Barsby.
Well, we are a couple holes left to go. I haven't seen Sigurbjorn yet. You got to try to find him. Have you seen him?
No, no, no.
Okay.
No.
If you see him at home, go to sigurbags.com and point him out, and you could win a Sigur backpack. Let's take a look here at hole 12.
Yeah, definitely the hardest one. You have to go straight through the tube here. Try to get a little bit to the left at the end of the flight, and then you have to find the island on your second shot if you're gonna take a look at the birdie, but there are no, I mean, what? Do we have like 7 birdies on this hole, so it's definitely a bonus one. Clearly a hardest hole on this course. And as we've seen, the biggest arms taking the high hyzer on the first shot.
Macbeth was considering that line and chose to go another direction, and is now going to have to just pitch out to the landing zone.
Not happy with that one, though there was nothing wrong with the approach.
Anthony Barella. This will be his 3rd shot after going out of bounds off the tee.
Still looking at a par there.
Certainly you can understand the risk reward that Barella is working with, because if that's in bounds, it's going to be an easy birdie. And instead, it's still going to be routine par.
Some course maintenance from Eagle McMahon.
Does he have a line here?
Yeah, but that's just a pitch out. Yeah.
So Eagles' 8 birdie streak likely coming to an end here on 12.
Yet again, a bit unbalanced stance for Paul Macbeth, and that is a red flag. An OB shot, and I always see his score is crumbling down.
Yeah, he's in trouble here. Double bogey would be probably the best case scenario. I think that tree pinched him off a little bit.
Okay, that's in bounds, barely. And Barsby is looking at a birdie here.
Well, Calvin is in great position for his second shot. Birdie certainly in play.
Oh, going low. And this is hazard, or Obi.
Slipped a little bit
Yeah.
on the release, and so some mistakes. We go to 17. Yuli. Well, and that ends up underneath the basket, so Yuli will have an easy birdie. That'll get him back to 7 under.
A big sidearm for Eagle. Nicely done. Saving the par. And after 11 holes of birdie fest, we're seeing some difficulties on this hole 12.
Good shot from Macbeth, but
yeah, it's gonna be a double bogey.
Gonna drop him back to 4 under. Frustration for Macbeth. So Heimberg never crossed back safely either, so he will throw his 4th shot. And he'll be looking at a bogey putt. So 12 taking a bite out of all of our top players here on the feature card to 14. Barella. Well, I think Barella ended up in circle 2 there. Interesting, Jaani. It feels like the players, we said it during the course close-up, don't get lulled to sleep. They got lulled to sleep by how easy the birdies were on the front.
Yeah, yeah. The course took them by surprise, I guess. Like it's so easy. It's so easy. That's birdie, 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 birdie. And now you have this monster of a hole 12, and all of a sudden we're seeing double bogeys. This is Barsby for a rare look at birdie. Hits the band.
Just has not been able to find the range. Macbeth here for double bogey. That's going to drop him from 7th to 18th. Heimberg in for the bogey. So he falls down into a tie for 4th. Eagles in for the par. Parsby also has to settle for par. Now, we did see quite a few birdies down the stretch from some of the players in the clubhouse with good scores. As we go up to hole 18, Paul Ulibarri trying to close out his round with a par.
Almost gets it. And almost a good round for Paul Ulibarri. It wasn't a bad round.
Could have been so much more.
Could have been so much more, yes.
Uli was 7 down through 11 and finishes at 6 under, which has him in that tie for 6. You see him there at the bottom of the leaderboard.
And all of a sudden I get this feeling that we're not going to see those 12 to 13 underscores anymore. For a while it did look like that, but I'm not sure about it anymore. And that's for sure that we are not going to see a bogey-free round on this first round here.
Still got Eagle and Calvin there at 8 and 7 under. 6 holes left to play. And the young Icelandic player, Blair Orn Askersen, sitting at 6 under as well. He's still on the course. Haven't seen him yet, but shooting very well. Lots of other American players up here in the top 20. A couple of other Europeans as well. Bradley Williams finishes with 4 under after getting back onto the course after being in a car crash, and he suffered some whiplash.
Yeah, I mean,
good to see he's back.
Yeah, nothing worse happened there, hopefully. Plenty of OB on this hole. You have to go big on the first shot. Over the pond, that's lurking on the left side of the fairway. Can't get much better than that. And this is late. That crosses the OB quite early. And the struggle continues for Parsby.
Another friendly kick for Calvin, a bit short of where Eagle ended up. 40% of players birdieing here on hole 13. Bet, pushing it around the corner to the left side. Well, there is Eagle McMahon. He's one shot back of the lead. And if there's any sense that his injury is lingering, you certainly don't see it today.
Why disc golf? It's the people. It's fun.
It's being in nature.
It's the lucky shots.
It's the feeling.
It's different.
It's the challenge. It's the throws.
So come out.
Grab a disc.
Or two.
And let it fly with Lone Star Disc.
Trilogy Challenge is back, y'all.
You get 3 discs.
The Retro Orbit Pure.
Tournament Ice Orbit Warship.
Fusion, Ice, Orbit, Vandal. Are you ready to hit the course with these 3 discs?
Go check out trilogychallenge.com.
How is your putter release so powerful even as far out as 50 feet? A lot of the power on my putt is generated from like a little finger pop / wrist action at the very end. Hold a disc in your hand even when you're sitting down on a couch. You can kind of just pop it up. Try to like pop the disc vertical. Do this and just slowly practice getting it higher. And you're just really trying to use your wrist, not really your arm. That's how I do it, and that's a tip to how you can do it too.
The J, it's kind of like a companion disc to the Rock, not quite as overstable. So it's more point and shoot than the Rock is, but it's still got really good torque resistance and it plays really well in the wind, and you can throw it sidearm.
Welcome back to DGN's live coverage of the PCS Open, presented by Innova. Barella teeing off on 15. Holy smokes, that is crushed, but unfortunately,
yet again,
he crushed it right out of bounds.
Yeah, going OB with a huge shot.
Absolutely. I mean, he almost got past the OB line there. But he's still managed to mostly avoid taking bogeys even when he's gone out of bounds. Just one bogey on the day, back on hole 4 with the 3-putt. Calvin.
Well, yep, gets the green flag, and that's a circle 2 putt for Colin Heimberg for a birdie.
Well, the clinical shot making we saw in the front 9 has waned a bit. Barsby here lining up his 3rd shot. And with the OB penalty, he's throwing 4 here.
That didn't look good either. Okay, gets the oppose.
Circle 2. Look for Barsby. He's 0 for 5 from distance. Macbeth has not birdied since hole 7.
That is about to change.
Going to get one of those double bogey strokes back.
bit wide. Did he go OB?
Oh my goodness, he did. He got the red flag.
That's a really big misfire from Eagle McMahon, because that wasn't that difficult of a place.
Major unforced error there for McMahon. And we'll see. One of these players want to try to take control here. It's a beautiful green.
Greg for single bogey from middle circle 2.
And that'll be a double bogey for Barsby. And, I can really feel the pain. And all in all, after the battle at 12, I'm sensing a bit like the tension is coming up there. For the group.
Calvin does have a birdie look here, but not an easy one.
That's also an unforced error from Calvin Heimberg. You don't see that very often.
No, you sure don't. So Heimberg's now going to have a long circle 1 putt for par. Eagle here putting for par. This would be a big save. Trying to remain within a shot of the lead. And somehow that didn't go in.
A moment of contemplation there for Eagle McMahon.
Heimberg's been automatic from this distance today, trying to save par. Not a problem for Vinny. 3 straight holes, though, without a birdie. And finally, Macbeth back on the birdie train. He gets to 5 under. Well played, hole 13. Double bogey for Barsby. That drops him over par. And Eagle will also take a bogey. So a slog for our feature card here on 12 and 13.
Perkins testing on course. 1, 2.
Back over to Barella.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Gets in that. Nah, it's okay. But in all honesty, he didn't need that much of a distance for the first shot there.
So we take a look here at hole 14.
Yeah, hole 14, 124 meters, 407 feet. Lots of OB yet again on both sides of the fairway. I think we're going to see maybe a couple of sidearm shots here. Plays a little uphill. Shouldn't be a problem for these fellas here. Take the birdie. What a beautiful shot.
Such great shape and control from Macbeth. It's almost like the double bogey refocused him. Excellent shots on 13 and 14. Heimberg.
Okay. Where do you need sidearms if you have backhand like that? Even Eagle is going backhand. It's looking good.
Oh,
very good.
Very good.
Okay, we got a couple of sidearm specialists here going backhand. I'm taking my words back.
Heiser's out a little bit too much, and long putt coming for Barsby. Eagle McMahon here chasing chains.
Very beautiful late turn. Oh, just above the rim.
Another foot to the right, and that is in the bucket. So turns out that what the players needed was to just get back over to a par 3 and line one up off the tee. So in position for birdie. Go back to 15. Barella trying to save par after going out of bounds off the tee shot.
It's a very important save.
He remains tied for 6th. 3 shots back of Proctor. And how about Hjalmar Fredriksson? 15 years old, Swedish player.
Yeah, it's
playing
amazing.
in his first Elite Series or Major here.
Amazing.
And he looks likely to be on the lead card tomorrow, at least as it stands right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see him tomorrow with these. Probably we're going to see him with American superstars. Seeing that 15-year-old Swede.
And you think he's playing in the same event as Paul Ulibarri, who's playing in his 200th Elite Series or Major, which is a record high. And they could end up playing on the same card at some point. Amazing.
Yet again, Greg Barsby from, I guess, Circle 2. Finds it finally.
He needed that. He really needed that. And now you can start thinking about a star frame here on 14. That was Barsby's first birdie since hole 7. Frustrating miss for Eagle. Macbeth trying to get back inside the top 10 with this birdie. Macbeth knocks it down. Back-to-back birds for the world champion. And Calvin gets back into a tie for second place. So well done from Calvin. One shot back of Proctor. So we welcome you back inside our broadcast booth. We're in Helsinki, about 200 kilometers from Nokia, where the European Open will be played next week. And we're in the Pulsea studios here. I want to thank them for making this possible. And Jaani, I mean, this has been some awesome action so far. A lot of birdies, but also some adversity out there.
Yeah, and that's what it, I mean, this is why we watch disc golf. I mean, we got to see all the emotions. I mean, I feel the pain that Greg Barsby is feeling at this point. I mean, being at a par on this kind of course where you see your friends playing -7, -8, -9, it's got to be a bit frustrating. But we got lots of disc golf to play, lots of holes, lots of birdie opportunities. I hope Greg is also picking up his game and get the mentality up there.
Just hit the long-range putt, so trying to get something going. And Calvin and Eagle and Paul are still trying to hunt for that hot round of the day, still within reach at this point as we head back over to hole 16 and check in again with Anthony Barella. He's currently in 6th. He's 3 shots off the lead.
Gets a bad kick, and that's gonna be OB. Bad kick after a bad shot. That's a lethal combination. Paul finds the middle of the fairway. About 100 meters left for him. Left of the basket, I mean. Calvin Heimberg follows suit.
.258-meter par 4. Just a handful of birdies, less than 10% of the field taking birdie here.
And this is tracking to the left and towards the OB. But gets the green. A sigh of relief from Greg there.
How big is Eagle going to go here?
This needs to come back, and it does.
Biggest drive of the group.
About 150 meters there. No biggie for Eagle McMahon.
Barella about to throw his 3rd shot after finding the out of bounds on 16.
This is a risky one. It's going to go over the OB. Did he go through the trees or not? For a while that looked like it went OB again.
I think he stayed safe. As we see Jakub Semrad's 2nd.
What a great shot from Jakub Semerad.
About to have a tap in birdie. Well, if you live in one of those houses along the left side, you can sit out on your patio and enjoy a little disc golf. So take a look and absorb some of this fantastic scenery from the Flight Factory drone. The ocean pushing all the way back up inland in these fjords. It's really something.
Yeah, I think Norway is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Has to be. I mean, it has everything. It has the mountains, has deep forests, a couple of big cities also, the fjords, but also long and dark winters. What a great shot from Greg Barsby. Looking at a birdie on this difficult hole 15.
Calvin in great position here to attack for birdie. And he could, for the first time today, get a share of the lead. Green flag. Hard to tell from here how close he is to 16. Una Heinonen putting on 16 for birdie. He rings it up. That's just his first Circle 2 make of the day, but it's a good one. He is at 3 under, tied for 26th. Macbeth on the green, inside circle 1. He'll have a birdie putt. Anthony Barella now putting for a very long distance par.
That'll be a bogey.
So after a string of pars and birdies, Barella takes his first bogey since hole 4. It's going to knock him down the leaderboard. 8 spots for 1 stroke. That's how tight things are up at the top right now. McMahon, beautiful approach shot.
No, I was like stepping up. I'm like, oh, there's telephone wires there.
It's only one thing that could potentially hit it.
Greg Barsby has been getting some big cheers today when he does good stuff out there, and what an iconic moment last year when he hoisted the battle axe after the win. Let's take a little trip down memory lane to 1 year ago at the PCS Sula Open. Greg had it going around the green.
The putter was certainly hot that day.
Crowd was loving it. And he just had everything working. I still remember when he got robbed of the ace. What a shot there to just climb over the pillars. And it was a combination of everything, and put it on the green on 18, hit the putt, knocked it down to win in the playoff, and
look at the feeling.
There it is. Couldn't have been a better player to win.
And he's been around for a while too. I mean, talking about Yuli Bari, been playing for, I don't know, 15, 16 years now. Rick Barsby, at least.
And we're going back to Smugs for Worlds this year.
Yep.
He won it last time in 2018. How about that? Calvin Heimberg in for the birdie on 15, and that gives him a share of the lead with James Proctor. Barsby.
That was so close. Still one of the better putts of the round for him.
He'll have to settle for a par. Macbeth for birdie. Gets it to go, right side. Corner pocket, and he has 3 straight birdies now. He's at 7 under. The lone blemish, the double bogey back on 12. Eagle to get within a shot of the lead. Yes, so after a couple of tough holes for the feature car, they are back and rolling. As we head into the final 3 holes here, let's take a look here at hole 16. Very scenic hole.
Super nice hole, and also a difficult tee shot. You have to throw high, but you can't throw high. I mean, you have to keep it fairly low. You have to pierce the trees here, hit the gap perfectly, and as we saw a moment earlier, Anthony Barella threw a, well, it was a bad shot. It was too low, and it kicked to the left to the OB. You have to clear the hill there. Best shots end up here about. You get a good look at the birdie.
Cool feature over there in the water.
Yeah, there are lots of Viking stuff on this course.
Yeah.
Saw some medieval shields, Viking boat.
Some other things to find as well if you look around the scenery in the background. And a great overhead view from our Flight Factory drone. And remember, we're keeping our eyes peeled for Sigurd Bjorn. If you see him in the yellow, go to sigurbags.com, let them know where you saw him, and you could win a free bag. Custom built for disc golf. So let's go to 17. Anthony Barella throwing his second shot. Well, we've been talking about some of the Viking scenery around and the Ragnarok course that we're on here, and Nate Perkins, apparently it's more than just some decoration out here.
But yeah, so I was asking Sievert where exactly the Viking graves were. He said they were down there by the water. A guy overheard me who happened to be the neighbor, and he said he was tilling his garden the other day, and he actually found a Viking sword. We're talking 9th century weapon. So kind of,
wow,
the hair on my arm stood up hearing it, because that would just be a find of a lifetime.
You gotta take that to the Antiques Roadshow, I think. How about that? That's awesome, Nate.
Yeah, it's a different story. My home course is built on an old dump yard. Find old motors and...
You got to keep digging.
Yeah. Well, this is looking good, or is it turning over? Yeah, it's the big stone there, but no problems.
So Eagle now just one shot back. His 8-birdie streak earlier was the longest that he's been on since 2021, when he went 14 straight at Las Vegas Challenge.
Oh, this is looking great. Until...
Just didn't get down onto the ground quick enough and skitters into the out of bounds. Ricky on 17, putting for birdie. Well, you can't question the putting today. He's been fantastic, but he struggled a bit off the tee, and that gets him to 3 under, 6 shots back of the leaders. Still a battle for who's going to get onto that lead card tomorrow. Can the 15-year-old Hjalmar Fredriksson be on there, or is Macbeth, an Eagle, going to knock him off? I'm sure he's waiting patiently to find out. What a moment that would be. Worth noting that this is also a PDGA Euro Tour event, along with being a Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series event. Macbeth is currently #1 in the Euro Tour standings.
Avoid still be a very long look at the birdie.
And there is a look at the current Euro Tour leaders. Macbeth, of course, has played a lot of events and won a lot of events, so no surprise to see him at #1, but some nice performances from Jakob Semrad and Silver Lad as well.
Yeah, the season is a bit early still. Lots of tournaments to be played here on the Euro side. Things are going to change a lot. But it's fun to see Paul Macbeth coming here, battling with the Europeans.
Do you feel like it's energized the European crowd,
Oh,
the players?
for sure. People are gathering. The galleries have been huge. And I think 50% of the people are there for Paul Macbeth. I mean, if the GOAT himself comes here, of course you're going to watch him.
position here for Eagle.
Oh, gets the tree and gets the OB.
Oh my.
Yet again, that was an unforced error. Similar kind of error that we saw a couple of hours earlier. Kind of a late release, going too much to the right, too early, hitting the tree.
Yeah, what do you see here?
I have no idea, actually. Technically, looked fine to me. But maybe it's the wood chips there on the ground that plays the tricks on your footing, maybe something.
Big mistake there again from Eagle. Gave away the bogey on 13. Now might end up doing the same here on 16.
Should bring in the crock.
A little bit of hesitation there. Taking a lot more overstable disc, and this is going towards OB. Gets a lucky kick out. Keeps on going.
Oh, and it keeps on going.
That's how you do it. Part of the game plan. Wobbling.
Usually you don't want the rollaways.
No.
Sometimes they go in your favor.
I mean, he definitely, it changed the disc to take the more overstable one, and that was the, I mean, that certainly was a mistake, but no harm done.
Eagle onto the green. He'll be putting for bogey from there. So that's going to knock him 2 shots back of Heimberg and Proctor.
Yeah, it's kind of a deceiving course because the front 9 is so easy. But as soon as we get to hole, let's say 11, 12, it gets a lot more difficult. It's hard to change the pace of your play, the mindset. This one needs to stop, and it does.
Good camaraderie there with Macbeth and Barsby. Battled down the stretch back at the 2018 Worlds.
That seemed like a layup.
Certainly not committed. But I think he wanted to get a little bit more underneath that. Seen that a couple times from him today.
Yeah, yeah. But there is also the OB just behind the basket, so I don't know. Vinny is not known to be a conservative player. It's a nice par. Ah, that was a bogey, of course, with the OB shot. No, it was a par.
He got the par.
Yeah.
He got the nice roll.
Yeah.
McMahon, though, takes the bogey.
Exactly.
Macbeth in for par. 2 holes to go. Can someone get the double digits?
What's up, guys? Welcome to Grow Generation. Today we're in Redding, California at one of our flagship stores. Let's go check it out. We are the largest hydroponics retailer in the country with over 60 locations nationwide. At Grow Generation, we carry thousands of products, from personal home gardens all the way up to large-scale cultivation facilities. So head over to growgeneration.com where you can find the store closest to you, or order online. Use the code DGPT for 10% off your next order.
What's up, everybody? My name's Kevin Jones, and the brand new disc to my lineup is the Feedback. The Feedback is a stable fairway driver, so it's going to be pretty straight out of your hand and then has a nice dependent finish to the left at the end. One of the great things about the Feedback is that it's for all skill levels. I'm really excited about this new disc in my lineup. Go check it out at prodigydisc.com.
At Discraft, we don't wait to see what the future holds. We build it. The future is in your hands.
Paul Macbeth on 17. He's 2 shots back of Calvin Heimberg and James Proctor.
Now hole 17, the easiest one on the course. It's like a horseshoe shaped. You have to go, well, huge to the right, and then you get a clear look at the basket. We've seen a couple of sidearm shots, but you can go like a big anhyzer too. But of course, with the Jaani, it's a bit risky because there's a lot of OB. Also, if you go long, but almost half of the field birdieing this one, so these players are definitely looking at a birdie here.
Three forehands, but McMahon looking to the backhand.
Okay.
That is way down there.
It didn't look like a fast disc either, so it looked like more of a mid-range, maybe even a putter. But a beautiful shot from Eagle McMahon. But am I right to say that we haven't seen Eagle going big on forehand after the one, after hole number 1?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So and that really looked bad. So he's definitely still feeling the pain or something, or not certain enough.
Left wall. It's certainly been the throw that's caused him problems with the injury, just avoiding it when he can. You can see why this hole plays fairly easy. Big landing zone here, funnel green, lots of places to bring your disc in safely. Not much OB behind the basket unless you go way long.
Sudden change of plans. I can see why.
Great shot from Calvin, and he's got a drop-in birdie that's going to put him at 10 under on the day and give him the outright lead.
This is too high. There's no OB there, so no problems, but it's a long look at a birdie, and I'm not sure if there's a good spot for that either.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that Macbeth has made over this entire season that just feel unfamiliar.
Yeah, something's off. Like, it's like the focus is a bit off. Because those are pretty easy shots.
Oh, Barella buzzes some spectators. And he's had some big shots, but also been finding the out of bounds quite a bit here in the latter part of the course. Eagle going grenade again. This is his third grenade of the round, and it continues to pay off.
Seems to work for him. I mean, if you can't go sidearm, you can definitely go over the trees.
Take another look from the drone. Drone's got to stay clear of Eagle. Might get taken out.
I mean, that just goes to show that even if you're injured, you just go around your injury. Just there are plenty of ways to go around your injuries. And another circle 2 for Greg Barsby.
Oh, Greg Barsby.
Finally. Couple of great putts for Greg Barsby on this round, but too many of those not so great putts.
That does put him back under par on the day.
There is a line for Paul Macbeth. It didn't go as deep as I thought. Nicely done.
Cashes it. Macbeth, he needed that one, and it gets him back to 8 under. He's one shot back of the lead for the moment, but Calvin's going to drop in to make it a 2-shot advantage. Eagle continuing to put the pressure on as well. He gets to 8 under. And for the moment, that means that young Fredrickson is not going to be on the lead card tomorrow. But we will have to wait and see how things finish up here on 18. Here's the second shot from Wysocki on 18. So tough birdie putt coming for Wysocki. He's trying to get to 4 under, and let's take a look at the final hole.
Also one of the iconic holes on this course. Of course, the basket there waiting on top of a tractor. Third hardest. It was one of the, I mean, on hole 18, hole 18 should always be something like this, where you can play it safe, you can play it risky. You have to make decisions after your first shot. Do you have to lay up, or can you go for the basket? Lots of OBs here on this final hole on this, well, we thought a bit easy course, but it's not that easy after all.
And just a classic green OB all around. And we go to the green now for Una Heinonen. And he rings it home to close out his round. Par save. 4 under finish for Heinonen. Back to the tee. Macbeth. 2 shots back of Calvin.
That's a perfect one. You want to be a little bit more to the right than to the left to get a good look at the tractor.
Heimberg has the chance to have his first lead after a round when he's playing in Europe.
It's a bit too tight. That's a tough one. Will he go for it or not? I mean, that's a risky shot if he's going for the birdie. This is looking good. Also a bit tight. Spoke too soon.
God, it's so hard to get to the green from there.
Okay, that's an understable one. Flip. No, I'm in the middle of the fairway. No big problems there for Eagle McMahon.
Let's bounce back up to the green. And Anthony Barella knocks it down. Finish out a 6 under round. Solid day for Barella. He's currently tied for 7th. 4 OB strokes on Barella's card. Nice finish for Wysocki. He goes birdie birdie. 4 under for him today. He's tied for 19th. So just the feature card still on the course. 3 of those players inside the top 3.
We got to see 3 of the best players now on this tournament.
And one of the names up on that list we don't see there so often, Joey Tamale, sitting 3 shots back in 6th place. And Nate Perkins, tell us about that. I mean, Tamale is not somebody that we've been seeing up at the top of the leaderboard at all this year.
No, I mean, Joey doesn't even play any of the Elite Series events, and he was given the green light to play this one as he's over here in Europe filming a documentary of Paul Macbeth for the Disc Golf Network. And Joey is making it very clear to Paul that if Paul bogeys this final hole, that they're going to play together tomorrow on the chase card. And Paul was kind of cracking a smile, and I think I might have heard him say that he's definitely not going to bogey.
There was a moment when Macbeth's first tournament over in Europe, Tamale finished ahead of him at a tournament. It's a big surprise. Macbeth played terribly in his first tournament across the Atlantic, but certainly has picked it up since then. And aside from a rough patch in the middle, he's looked great today.
Yeah, he's been looking confident, but there was something happening on 11 and 12.
Calvin a little pinched off here.
This is a tough one.
Oh, that's so bad.
That's not even close.
are you surprised he went for it, considering how much
Yeah.
he was thinking about his backswing there?
Yeah. There's no need to take that kind of risk at this point.
Well, a pretty big mistake there from Heimberg. See if he can get up and down for a bogey. And interestingly, and there's no way this was in his mind, but when he's held the outright lead after round 1 at an Elite Series or a major, he's never won.
Wow.
He's 0 for 5. I think we got a little bit of a different Calvin Heimberg this year, but interesting statistic there from Statmando.
Wow, that was a lucky one. It was heading towards the OB for sure. Hit the tree, kicked out of the OB and inbounds. Sigh of relief, I guess.
Indeed. All right, well, Joey Tamale is heckling quietly from the gallery right now. Macbeth. In great position to birdie here.
Needs to come left. Wow, that was also a lucky shot. Almost hit the spectators there.
I think you have to call backboard for that one to be considered inbounds. I mean, just too much on this one, but it was exactly at the right height.
Hitting the banner, kicking in bounds, and smiling at it.
That's been a fun round of disc golf today. Calvin went out quite early, so a little bit of a tricky approach. Needs to fight down.
Okay,
oh
okay.
boy.
That's in bounds.
Nearly disastrous.
Yeah. Almost destroyed his round there on 18.
He will be putting for bogey. 1 meter off the line.
Yep, and we won't be seeing double digits after all.
Mm-hmm.
Great shot from Greg Barsby. It's a par after a very difficult round of disc golf for him.
But he's still got to have some positive feelings as he walks onto this green.
Yeah, he's always cheerful. Keeps up the positive mood.
Remembering back a year ago, climbing up on the tractor. Here's Eagles third. Well, and Paul Macbeth, don't count him out when he's trailing. We certainly know that. And when he's been down by 2 shots after round 1, he's come out to win 4 straight times, dating back to 2013.
2 shots is nothing for Paul Macbeth.
So Heimberg will go into tomorrow with a share of the lead. The bogey drops him back to 9 under. He and Proctor and potentially Paul Macbeth will be at 9 under. This birdie for a share of the lead heading into round 2. Yes, sir. Great close to the round from Paul Macbeth. He birdies 5 of the last 6 holes after the double bogey on 12 to fight all the way back and into the lead. Tough day for Greg Barsby, but closes it out with par and had some nice moments. Hit some big putts. Eagle McMahon will be 1 shot off the lead. He'll be on the lead card tomorrow. And there's a look at your leaderboard after round number 1.
I mean, it's a tight battle. -9 is the best round. I was looking forward to seeing -12, -13. You can throw -13 on this course, but you can always you can also go -5, -4, and it's still an okay round. It's just a couple of more OBs, and then you're -6. I mean, Anthony Barella was going hot. He was going -10, but too many OBs, and it's -6.
Right. And that's the thing. The OBs really put pressure on every single hole out here.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, you're probably going to take a stroke.
Yeah, and you can feel like you're playing okay. I mean, it's just a couple of centimeters off in your OB, and
Right.
it's not a bad shot. And as we saw a couple of like very bad breaks, but we also saw a couple of very good breaks, like with Paul Macbeth on the last hole. Like, could have gone OB.
Right. I mean, it maybe should have gone OB.
Yeah,
And Calvin's
exactly.
disc was in by 2 inches. Very interesting stuff, and some really great disc golf today. Looking forward to more tomorrow. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to come back on the other side for the after show, some interviews, and of course the OTB shot of the day. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Repetitive stress injuries are one of the most common reasons that disc golfers have to take time off from playing the sport they love. With the average disc golf bag weighing up to 25 pounds, this can add up to over 2,000 pounds of accumulated stress on your body during a single round. A cart gives you the ability to bring what you need on the course without the repetitive heavy lifting. This reduces the number of stress points you experience during a round, keeping you at your best.
Check out the whole lineup at clashdisc.com.
One of my favorite memories growing up was a trip I took with my dad to Hawaii. We just got done with a round of disc golf and decided to listen to the Grateful Dead. Without saying anything, we both knew we needed to dance, and that's exactly what we did. Sometimes you just need to stop, and enjoy the music.
Millennium's Quantum Vela is a Speed 7 fairway driver. It's great for hyzers out of the box and seasons into a straight disc. Play smart, keep it simple, throw Millennium. Get yours at golfdisc.com.
Welcome back to DGN, and we are in the OTB after show following the first round of the PCS Open. And they put the big names on the feature card today, Jaani, and they showed up to play.
Certainly showed up. I mean, they are the top three. Top three in the world, I would say also. Eagle McMahon, putting great. Colin Heimberg also showed up on the circle. Paul McBeth had some troubles there on 11 and 12, but mostly it was like this, parking.
Eagle with some beautiful drives.
I mean, when you can't go sidearm, you can always do this. All the others went sidearm, and his was the best.
This was an awesome shot from McBeth, filtering down onto the green. Calvin was clinical early and continued to make some birdies late in the round. Beautiful drive on 14. And we welcome you back inside our broadcast booth. And so, you know, we take a look at the top of the leaderboard. McBeth, Proctor, and Heimberg tied up at the top. And then you've got Eagle just one shot back. And he's tied with Hjalmar Fredriksson, the 15-year-old from Sweden. We didn't get a single shot of him today on the coverage. We'll see him tomorrow for sure.
For sure, yes.
How do you think he's going to handle playing alongside some of these huge names?
He's going to handle it well. I think we saw him a couple of weeks ago at the Swedish Open. He was playing at the lead card, and he was looking confident. Like, he's 15-year-old. He doesn't have any nerves. He's just showing up. And seems like Sweden can produce these kind of phenomenal young players. We've seen over the years lots of them, like Linus Åström, Oskar Stenfeld. They all won like junior world champs, and they showed up. And seems like they don't get the nervy feelings. I mean, maybe when they get older.
Got it. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, and did you see anything that you feel like separated the top players from one another? Obviously, they end up with basically the same scores. We didn't really see James Proctor today, but they all had their moments, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, Paul, if he gets the groove on, if he gets the focus on, he will be unbeatable. I mean, he's been playing great so far in Europe when he's focused. If he's not, you can really see it. And I think we saw it on holes 11 and 12. There wasn't that look on his face. He was like going to the knee on his drives. And what was that? I've never seen that before. Something was totally off.
Yeah, very interesting. And, you know, we've got a lot of people still in the mix. We saw some names up near the top that we haven't talked about much this year. Paul Ulibarri up there. We mentioned Joey Tamale. Obviously, Anthony Barella has been up near the top quite a bit. And he could have had, it felt like a special round. He was often OB by maybe a few inches on some gigantic drives.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of that showing off because he has the distance, of course, but you don't need the distance here. I mean, that one, I think it was hole 15 or something, that's 258 meters long. You can't reach the basket anyway if you go big from the tee, but you will reach it with 2 shots. That's like 140 meters or something. Like, you don't have to go that big. I don't know why he did it.
Yeah, what else stood out to you from day one? Scores seem like a big step forward compared to what we saw last year.
Yeah. Well, the front 9 is definitely the one that you really have to take all the birdies. And maybe in the back 9, you could play a little bit more conservative. There's no harm done taking a couple of pars here and there. And we saw great damages when you went for the birdie, maybe a little bit risky shots like with Calvin on hole 18. Really don't need to take such risks at that point. Ended up taking the bogey. Could have taken an easy par also. Something like this.
Right, right. Out of position slightly and you go for it. We saw a lot of people get burned doing that today. Well, let's take a look at a great moment from today, and that will be our OTB shot of the day. What do you think it is, Jaani?
I'm thinking of Greg Barsby on hole 16 with that very bad shot, but a great result.
That could be it. There are also a couple of ace runs where we saw people flashing chains or in the basket. So roll it. Let's see what it is. We'll go back early. Anthony Barella hitting from way downtown. And a heck of a putt. I mean, you wonder if that was going to skitter down into the OB if he missed it. But buried it, and that got his round off to a great start. One of the best putts of the day for sure.
Yes, he's still in the mix. I mean, he took 4 unnecessary OBs, but he's still in the mix there at -6.
Yeah, there's a lot of players still within 5 shots of the lead. 27 players are within 5. So you got to make sure you tune in tomorrow. Coverage begins in the morning for the FPO round at 9:30 a.m. Central European time. That's 3:30 a.m. Eastern, 12:30 a.m. Pacific. And then the MPO round starts 6 hours later, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, 3:30 p.m. Central Eastern. That'll be live on the Disc Golf Network and exclusively on the Disc Golf Network. If you are just turning in at the end of today, you can tune in to Jomez Pro's coverage of Elite Card, and they get it out overnight. And we thank you so much for being with us today. For Jaani Lansio, I am Charlie Eisenhood saying good night, and we will talk to you tomorrow for round number 2 at the PCS Open. Thank you, Mahmood.